So I was one of those kids, right, who would just take things apart for no reason. I would try and fix things that were not broke, but they'd be broke after I tried to fix them. I was one of them kids. Why am I saying that? Well, that's because I've got a kaaz LSD and we're going to take it apart. We're going to open it up and see what's inside. Why? Because we can. Right, so firstly, before we open it up, this is a kaaz LSD for my Fiesta. I've been on about one of these for a long time, and this is the Super Q version. We've got it with oil. First, I want to give a big thank you to Partbox. Paul at Partbox done me a brilliant deal on this, so I'm going to put a link in the description. Go onto the website, they sell everything. Now, one thing I want to mention, I don't know why I'll insert a clip, but going back to Castle Combe about, what was it, 6 weeks ago, something like that, I said something along the lines, at the end of the day, I'm happy with the car. Probably get a diff next year. Won't happen for a while, but within within about 2 weeks of that, I was ordering a diff. So ignore all that rubbish. I realise how badly I need one. Anyway, so here we are. We got it. Right, let's have a look at what's going on. I'll explain to you in a minute why we're actually going to take it apart. There is actually a reason, but first let's have a look what's in here. So we've got some new bearings, all supplied by Partbox. I had a deal with the diff. So we've got 2 bearings. We got the drive shaft seals, 2 of them, and we've got a brand new set of bolts. So then inside here is the diff. Right, why are we taking it apart? There is a reason, like I said. I've been told they come set up 1.5 way, and that the clutch packs are set to 100% lock. So we can open it up, we're going to check it is on that setting, and if it's not, then we'll make some changes. So 1.5 way differential, if you don't know, is it does some lock on coasting or decelerating, but it's not as much as the full lock, which is on accelerating, which is what you really want. So I do want a little bit of decel, so we're going to see what setting it's on. I think there's 2 options in it. We're going to check that. Also, you can flip clutch plates around and get different percent of lock. I've been told it's on 100%, and I think I want it on 100, but before it's in the car, once it's in the car, I can't check nothing. So we're going to open it up, check, and I'll know for absolute certainty what it is before it goes in. Right, so I'm having a little peek through that window there. I'm pretty sure already that it is set on the most aggressive ramp angles, but we want to make sure the clutch plates are set to the most aggressive, and also we can verify that the ramp angles are in the full 1.5 way most aggressive. So what you're going to do is, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 bolts here. Take them out. We'll pull it apart and you'll get to see the inside of a plated diff. Right, so first job, diff in the vise, and then we're going to crack off these Allen bolts. Now they should only be hand tight or 10 foot-pounds, I think the instruction said, so they shouldn't be too tight. So let's see if we can, there you are, it broke loose. So we'll get them all cracked off. And that one I already done before I started filming, just to make sure that this will do it. So we'll undo all of these, get them all out, and then we should be able to open them up. Right, so they're all out. You can see the top part starting to open up because of the pressure on the diff. So we'll get them out now and put them on the desk, workbench, whatever you want to call it. Right, so before you take it apart, note there's scratch marks, and you're going to want to pay attention to that lining it back up. So when we put the 2 parts back together, we're going to line up them scratch lines. So I'll plonk you somewhere now where you can watch it from, maybe up here, and then we'll start pulling them open. Right, so now as we take it apart, we'll pull this bit off, turn him upside down. So now we've got to carefully make sure everything gets flipped, put back in there the way that we've taken it apart. Right, so first of all, this is the cone washer, cone spring. That's what gives you clutch packs the preload. And if you can see, but it's sort of concaved, so that gets compressed. So we're gonna take that and plonk that in there. And so the next thing then is the clutch packs. So I think there's 4 each side on this. Right. Now the way the diff works, these are your clutch packs and they alternate. I think they call them A, B. So you've got an A, you've got a B. If they alternate, which these do, as you can see they're different, that's like a spiral, and that one's straight grooved. If they're alternating, that's the maximum grip. So this is on 100% lock. So, and there's 2 sides, so there'll be another for the other side. Now these, because this is Super Q, this has had WPC treatment to the clutch plates. So the idea with that is they don't need wearing in, and also they're supposed to be quieter, so I shouldn't get the chatter that you would normally get from a plated diff. So we're going to make sure now that we set these right. This is the first time I've ever done this. I watched a YouTube video on videos, so I may have to tweak my methods, but we're going to flip this now and pop him in here. So that will just slide down the grooves. Tell you what, let's do them one at a time. So we'll go, well, them 2 are sticking, so we'll go that one first. Drop him in, and then drop them 2 in. Right, it's very greasy this is, so let me show you down inside. So that's what they look like down in there. So before that bit drops down on top of there, we're going to have to make sure that all of them are in line, which is easy enough to do. Right, so now this piece is what controls your ramp angles. So if we look at this, if I take that off, you can see the pinion gears, whatever they're called, they sit in these grooves. Now that is the least aggressive setting by my eyes. So this is going to have the, what happens is, let me take this one off, is these, you see the chamfer angles both sides there, so when you're accelerating, this rides up that sloped angle as it twists, pushes the clutch packs together, and the extent to that angle, the shallower, the easier it is to lock, steeper, the harder it is to climb up. So that's your acceleration ramp angle, and this is your decel, so it's not going to ride up that on decel. So as that's set now, there is no decels, the very lowest is going to be doing barely anything. I can't remember the angles, I think it's 55, 20, 45, 50, something like that, but they had an instruction. If we look at that side, we can flip this whole mechanism and we can make it lock up easier on acceleration and deceleration. Now I was under the impression that it was on that setting, which is the most aggressive. So I'm going to do a little research before we set it up. I'm going to find out what's best, if I'm going to flip all of this and go to the most aggressive, because that's what I was expecting it to be on. So the fact that it's not have surprised me. Right, so with a little bit of thought, I've decided I'm not going to change the ramp angles. I'm going to leave the ramp angles as they come from factory. So the options were there's 45-15 degrees and then there's 55-20. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to mess with that, and because the clutch plates are on 100% lock, we're going to stick with that. So I'm basically going to put it all back together exactly as it was. So I'll continue on now, transferring over. So the next bit is this. Now I need to make sure that when I flip that, I drop them into the right one. So what I'm going to do, we want to be in this one, and I'm going to bring that one to the front. So I know we're going to be working the pinion gears to this front edge here. So the next thing is this main gear. So like we said, we've got to drop that down now, and we've got to line him into the teeth in the clutch plates. So we have to do a little bit of wiggling. Easier said than done, he says. So they're starting to turn, so we're going to line them up. There you are. See if we can drop them in now. There you are. So that's dropped down now. Right, so like I said, I need to make sure now that these main pinion gears, I can't remember the proper name, it was pinion the right, well anyway, the gears comes across this way. So now in the video I watched, these can be sided. It said they marked if they are, so I'm going to do a flip so that everything goes back exactly as it was. Let me get it in and I'll show you. So yeah, so that dropped in there, so I made sure they're in the right ramp angle. So next I'm going to pull out this main gear, flip him over, and then we got to get this right. So you look at the two angles, so we're going to the steeper of the two, which is that one, and we need that one there. Bit worrying actually, I don't want to get this wrong. There you have it, that's all done. Right, so now the clutch packs, we can see these are alternating as well, so they are in the 100% lock position. So we're going to flip them and ease them in. Probably need a little bit of wiggling to get them all lined up. The oil makes them stick together quite a bit. Right, so there we have it. All of that's right. So then we've got our other cone spring from the other side, which we flip over. And also worth noting, there's a little washer in here. The oil's keeping that in, and that was in the bottom the other side as well. So all we've got to do now is flip this over, and remember them marks we talked about. So the little scratches that were in it, that's there. So I'm going to find where it is on this. Yeah, found him, he's there. So as you put this together now, I'll line them up like so. So you can see now them cone springs that we were talking about, the cone washers, they are what providing the amount of preload, which is the clamping force on the clutch plates without the diff being active. So when we squeeze that together, that's going to be the amount of pressure that's on the clutch plates. So we're going to put these 4 screws back in. The video I watched from Kaaz said they need to be 10 foot-pounds or hand tight, and you don't have to worry too much about them coming loose because the ring gear bolts will keep it clamped down anyway. So we'll quickly get them back in. It's really messy. Right, so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. And I'm going to, because this is, like I say, it's under spring pressure, we'll just work our way around, tweaking as we go. I'm not going to go full pressure one side. Right, so I can feel that's nipping up tight, so I get them all nipped tight. Right, so what I'll do to finish is I'll probably put the 10 foot-pounds into them, but pretty much that is the inside of a kaaz Super Q LSD. Right, so that's the first diff I've ever taken apart. It's actually the first plated diff I've ever had, but I don't mind taking things apart, just hopefully it'll work. Can you imagine? No, I'm pretty confident it's alright. But yes, once again, thank you very much to Partbox for supplying that and the forward bits that I need. Now this will be going on soon. I'm going to don it down a week tomorrow, so it's not going to go on before that. I'm getting the clutch plate from Rsport, Connor and Jordan, so they come into the track day and don it then. So I've ordered it with them and they're just going to bring it to don it then, and I'll have it off them then. So when that video comes along, you're going to see it get put in the car. So I'm not sure how long that's going to be, but I'm going to get done and out of the way. I haven't booked any track days after that, and then I think what I'll do is I'll crack on with the diff because I'm pretty excited to get it in. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I kind of did, even though it was a little bit stressful because I was worried I'd break something, but I think it went alright. If you spotted anything I done wrong, tell me before it goes in the car, but I'm pretty sure it's alright. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.